Welcome everybody to Racing Without a Cause as we get set to go 80 laps tonight at Daytona. It's going to be a fun race. A little bit of information about tonight's race. There you go. Chance to win a new 2018 Race for a Cause t-shirt, of course, at Friday, April 6th. Race starts here in just a few minutes. I want to thank all these cool little sponsors that they're going to be donating to and stuff like that. This is the Promotional 200 live from Daytona. You can check these guys out, by the way. This is sponsored by the Pit Stall. You can get more information about them on Facebook. Just hop in the pit stall and you'll see some more information. First off, I want to start out tonight by giving a little bit of a shout out to Chris Legal, I believe is how you say his name, Troy Radford, AJ Hamill, Rick Greenaway, and Racing for a Cause admin team for making this race possible. They do a lot of stuff for this, and I know a little bit about it. I've kind of learned a little bit about it anyway. But anyway, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to this race. It looks really cool from things that they got worked out, and how everything's going to run. Like I said, you can find more information about this by going to the Pit Stall on Facebook, and that is just the Pit Stall, and you can see it and join up in the group. And you can find out a lot of information about tonight. You see some of the guys out there on track right now, kind of just practicing right now, get ready to go qualify. We got about 19 drivers, I think, in here tonight. We'll see how it all plays out. There's some big names in here. I mean, Daytona, you just never know how it's all going to shape up. There's a look at your weather. Do not worry about redlightleague.com. I do apologize for that. There you go. As we get ready to go here, a little bit of track facts for you. Fuel is at 50%, so we'll see pit stops probably around lap 30. Give or take a little bit on, cautions and stuff like that. Could have cautions early in the race. Just have to wait and see how it all plays out as the time passes. Anyway, I was trying to read a little bit more about it while I'm sitting here actually talking about it. But yeah, I believe it's the winner of this race does get a Racing for a Cause t-shirt, which is really cool. If you haven't seen it, you can actually pre-order it. There's a link in the description. You can actually go ahead and get them. The shirts are actually really awesome, and all of it benefits Racing for a Cause, all the charities and stuff like that. So it's always a great thing to be, promoting and stuff like that, which is one reason why, for me, everybody knows broadcasters get paid money to broadcast race. I donated what we got for the league as well, to help, Racing for a Cause and stuff like that. So really cool little thing that they got going here. So we're going to go qualifying. It's 2 laps, 10-minute qualifying. We'll see who gets the pole for tonight's race. I don't really have a favorite. Some of these guys are so good, it's hard to pick. If Brian Rogers kind of stands out, Gabe Butler, RJ Justice, AJ Rogers, most of you know he'll be broadcasting him in a super late model or late model. We'll be seeing him here soon, I think on Sunday night. I think he's running that league as well. Man, any of these guys can actually walk out of here with the win. I mean, it's Daytona. That's one thing about this race that's a little bit different than most. You don't have one set favorite guy to win this race. Anybody can go out here and win. It's more about putting yourself in position at the right time. It's not about who's the fastest at any time. It's who you can work with, who can get up to the front the fastest towards the end of the race, not necessarily towards the front. The front, it really don't matter. If you want to get up towards the front early, you can, but it really don't matter. But you got to find the right guys to work with and the right line to actually work with, whether it be the top side or the high side. Top side, definitely my favorite type of line to run here. We've seen the top side work out plenty of times in all the other races that we've broadcasted. I mean, I think this is now our 400th broadcast, 300 and something broadcast, give or take on that. I don't really know for sure, but yeah, I mean, these guys, anybody could go out here and win. Nate Lacombe, everybody probably heard of that name before. He's a very good driver when it comes to these cars. I'm anxious to see what he can do. So, practice is coming to an end. Once again, thanks to all the sponsors. There's the Racing for a Cause t-shirt. You can see the link. Like I said, the link is in the description below on YouTube. And there you go. So, getting ready to go green here in just a few moments as practice does come to an end. And qualifying going to begin here at Daytona. Let's see who comes out first. Oh, you know what? We cannot watch qualifying because I forgot. We are actually in here for interviews, so we cannot watch the qualifying session. So I apologize for that, guys. So I will put this up. We'll take a break right now, and we'll get right back here in just a few moments. Watch a race for calls, promotional 200. Welcome back, everybody, to the iRacing Promotional 200, sponsored by Racing for a Cause, as we get set to go 80 laps here around Daytona International Speedway. Qualifying almost wrapped up right now. Gabe Butler on top of the board with second place at the moment being John Johnson. As we'll see how this all plays out here in just a few moments. One thing, by the way, if you are new to iRacing or want to join iRacing, make sure you check it out. Use promotional code PR-GRC. That is PR and a dash and then GRC. And it is $5 for 3 months. And get on iRacing, get your wheels fun. You have a blast, all kinds of cool things on here. It's very nice people as well. So, we're getting ready to go here. And keep in mind, the winners tonight can win a t-shirt depending if they was entered for it. So see how this plays out. Once again, I gave these shout outs earlier to the guys that was able to make this possible. And I'm going to try to pronounce their name again. That is Chris Legal. I'm probably butchering these names. Troy Radford, AJ Hamill, Rick Greenway, and Racing for a Cause admin team for making this race possible. If it wasn't for them, we would not be able to broadcast this. We wouldn't even have a race, to be honest. So, thanks out for them. Also, Douglas Johnson helped put this together and all that stuff. So, big thank you out for them and all that good stuff. So, as we get ready to go, we'll be 80 laps around 2.5 mile track. And you can see there, Daytona International Speedway, we're going to see 3 wide racing. It's going to be interesting to see if these guys actually choose to go to the high line early, or will they just get single file and ride around. I mean, some of these guys probably have never raced together. There's a lot of good talent in here, though. And when I look at the board, there's actually some really good drivers actually in this race. They're actually pretty well stacked as far as who they got running this race. Gabe Butler being one of them. Nate Lacombe being one, AJ Rogers being a great super late model driver when he races. Any one of these guys, Sean Water, RJ Justice, I've heard a lot about some of these names, so it's really interesting to see who's able to maneuver up through the field. Like I mentioned, track position going to be key late in the race. Early, you may have some guys fall back, but late in the race is where you really want to start making your move up. I'm going to say 20 to go if you're towards the back. You really want to start trying to put yourself in position to be up towards the front, just in case there's a late race caution. You never know. Daytona always seems to have the big one, and I do expect the big one to happen. Honestly, I expect it to happen early. Usually on these races, I always predict wrecks to happen very early in these races because a lot of guys still get in the feel for racing near each other and stuff like that. So especially when it comes to like Daytona, Talladega, any super speedway track, I always predict the cautions to happen early on in the race. I don't expect it to be any different here. If it does, they'll surprise me. I have seen it go green the whole way, and I've only seen it done once out of all the time I've broadcasted, so I don't expect it to go green the whole way, but there's always that chance of it going green. Honestly, if I was to pick my favorite, I don't really have a favorite as a broadcaster, but I would like to see John Johnson win. He's a really good guy. I know he's what brought me on board for this, but honestly, he would be cool to watch win. Nate Lacombe would be cool to watch win. But I don't really have a favorite of who I think is going to win. But it's going to be really interesting to see how these guys advance over, the long period of time where they're able to put themselves in that right position. As I keep mentioning, to me, that is the biggest key to this race. Put yourself in the right spot. Pit stops, do not speed. And do you take 2 tires? Do you take 4 tires? Do you take no tires? This is an 80-lap race. I think you could get by on the first stop at no tires. The second stop, you're going to have to take at least 2. But I don't really, to me, for 80 laps, I wouldn't take 4. That's just me for here. So, but we'll see. Anyway, the session is complete as the grading process has begun for the Daytona race for Racing for a Cause. As we hop over and look at some cars, you see the 22 sitting up on the front row. Gabe Butler, John Johnson, Trevor Halapuff, Kenneth Osborne, or Osborne, I believe, Wesley Whitfield, Peyton Johnson. Row 4, we got Nate Lacombe, Douglas Johnson, Row number 5, we got AJ Rogers, Sean Wilder. Row number 6, we got RJ Justice and Dylan Thomas. Row number 7, Brian Rogers Jr., Jeff Cormier. Rick Winway starting in row number 8. And that is me, by the way, so I'm not counting myself. Anyway, the pace car is about to roll out on to the track. And these are the Xfinity Series cars, in case anybody was wondering. There we go. See racing for a cause. I'm sure you can actually watch this race as well on board. The 88 car got his Twitch on there. Alright, we are just about set to roll off the grid. There's some nice looking cars in this field though. I was looking at them in practice. There's some really nice looking cars. Like I love this 22 car. The Racing for a Cause. Make sure you like that on Facebook. You see the little thumbs up. That's John Johnson. But make sure there's just a lot of nice looking cars in here, man. Really proud to be able to call this race for these guys. It's really an honor, to be honest, to call this race for them. Because I know what it actually means and stuff like that. So, there you go. They're rolling out. The 12 car looks really cool. Who was in that? Brian Rogers Jr. Let's take a look at some of these paint schemes. Here's a look at your pole sitter. There's John Johnson. As you are looking through some of the paint schemes that is on track. That's a nice paint scheme. Nate LaCombe driving the Rowdy Nos car. AJ Rogers, Midwest Power Source. Of course, you got the front of his car. That's a cool looking scheme, man. Sean Wilder, RJ Justice, AC Delco with the Superman. There's the 12. It's cool looking. I don't know. It's really neat. You got the race again, a race LMS car. Had a friend that was diagnosed with that. Alright, that's a cool looking car too. Red Sox Foundation. Even though I'm not a Red Sox fan. Really cool. Alright guys, we're getting ready to go racing here at the famous Daytona Super Speedway. Like I said, 80 laps with 40 or 50% fuel, so we'll be pitting around lap 30, give or take on that a little bit, by the way guys. I didn't actually run my laps, so let's get ready to go racing. Pace car pulls in, and green flag is out. We're off to racing here at Daytona, Racing for a Cause Promotional 200 underway. 80 laps. As you can already see, that 88 trying to nose out in front of the 22. That is John Johnson in the number 22. That green car up on the front row, that Ford Mustang, trying to outclass this 88 Chevrolet. Here comes the 78 with the push. That is Kenneth Dale Osmond, also in a Camaro. Right now we stay up front towards the lead. These guys do get pushed out. John Johnson going to take the lead on lap number 1. Let's see if he can hold it as that 78's now getting a push. We got a car that is loose. That is the 88. And there we go. Big trouble early. We may not have a caution for this. We got one car going around. Caution may not fly as we got cars scattered all over the place, guys. That means no caution flag, which is very odd, by the way, because there was literally cars scattered throughout the track. We got the 88 car around once again. Look at this. Don't really know why a caution did not come out. That's a first. But there we go. Right there, I thought a caution would come out, I guess, because the majority of the field was done. I don't really entirely know. But unfortunately, it cost a lot of cars, a lot of spots, and this race now going to be a little bit desperate. We got a couple cars already on pit road. This is the 85, by the way, Peyton Johnson with the lead. Then we got a car up on the high side. That is the 01 of Nate LaCombe. up on the outside line, being pushed by that 388 car of Douglas Johnson. So we got a couple cars exiting the pits. They will be one lap down. Unfortunately for them, that is not the kind of start you want, especially here at Daytona, to go one lap down that early in the race. That is very bad, because even if you get your lap back, it's going to be a long race for some of these guys. You just got that feeling. I mean, right there we got now, what is that? 3 cars one lap down. We got a couple cars by themselves, even without damage, because they're going to be trying to hook up here very soon. 3 car, Dylan Thomas jumps up to the outside. So does the 78 car. Kenneth, he's going to try to lead this lap. And across the line, he does lead his very first lap of the night. He's going to go back down towards the bottom, working that momentum. More cars right now on that low side, a little bit more tucked up, so this outside line may not get as big of a push as the inside row. With more cars being on the bottom, we'll have to wait and see, but they are doubled right now, so we'll see how this works out down the backstretch. You can kind of see it right there as caution flag comes out. And I believe this was actually manually thrown, I do believe. So we're going to restart the gridding process once again. I believe that was manually thrown, by the way, guys. There was no caution on the track, so they have decided to manually throw it, which I completely agree with. I wish it would have done a little bit earlier, to be fair, but I do like that they actually did call the caution. So Dylan Thomas is going to take the lead and go around the track. It's going to be interesting to see if we see pit stops here, though. Man, I don't know. How many of these cars got damaged, though? You see right there, the 88 with a little bit of damage. The 18 looks good. I think some of these guys took fast repairs on their caution flag, or during that pit stop. So yeah, caution flag's out for the first time. Once again, I believe this was manually thrown for the previous caution that we had, a real big wreck that we actually started the race off with. And honestly, I didn't see nothing really wrong. I just seen the 88 get bumped going into a corner, and honestly, he did nothing wrong. Maybe got a little bit of the apron. That's kind of what sent him sideways. And for Gabe Butler, the race did not start off the way he wanted to. You see him here, started off in first. Unfortunately, early on in this race, back into the field right now with a little bit of damage. We should be seeing him come back down pit road, I would guess, to get that fixed. See if anybody actually decides to come down pit lane this time. A couple cars. That's the 01, I believe. Yep, Nate coming down. Sean Wilder coming down, and a couple of these other cars coming down. Thomas Clumbattle coming down, or Quattlebaum, I think say Quattlebaum, I believe say his name. Rick Greenway, AJ Rogers coming down. I didn't check AJ's car. He's got a little bit of damage, not that significant. Actually, more than I thought. Let's see if he actually takes his fast repair. He did take his fast repair, so they will be gridding back up here shortly. Once again, guys, make sure you all check out the link in the description, and you can actually buy one of these t-shirts that they are giving away. You can also find out more about Racing for a Cause by going for racingforacause.org. I believe this is actually where their main website is. But yeah, make sure you check out the link in the description. I was trying to find the actual link to that myself. Let me get it as well. Yeah, vfantasyracing.com/shop. You can actually buy the Racing for a Cause t-shirts. And you can see that there on their page. They also have some donation things as well. So you see some cars coming around. I believe a lot of these guys are getting a wave around. They are getting a wave around because of that wreck. So we'll be getting ready to grid them up again as we go around the track. I'd like to get an interview during the race, but it's hard for me because we're not using TeamSpeak to get interviews, so we gotta wait till after the end. But I would like to get an interview during the race, but I'm afraid they wouldn't be able to hear me with strategy and stuff like that. So I'm kind of opting if I want to get an interview or not. We'll have to wait and see if we decide to do that or not. But like I said, you got to be really careful with doing certain things like that. You don't want to get in too early and mess up any type of strategy they're talking about or any race control stuff. So it's hard for me to decide if I want to do that or not. Look back here at the 78 car. I didn't get to see his paint scheme really close. In loving memory of Tom. Oh, okay. That's Kenneth. So you see he's got, I'm not sure, I don't want to jump in any type of, conclusion, but possibly his brother or dad or somebody like that, or grandpa on the side of his car, so really cool. Type 1 Diabetes JDRF, Peyton Johnson's car. That's a cool looking car. And of course, John Johnson's car as well. For tonight, Shriners Hospital for Children. At St. Jude's Research Hospital. We raised some money for them last year. Really cool thing. DVT awareness. I don't know. I just like going through some of these and actually, looking at a lot of these different paint schemes that we see. Alright, we are doubled up once again. And it is going to be Dylan Thomas leading us to the green flag. Once we go around this long 2.5 mile speedway. Anybody out there wondering, this is the Xfinity car. Here's a look at the sponsors and stuff as well, and a lot of the sponsors that you see on the cars as well. Find out more about these guys by going to the pit stall on Facebook. All right, let's go. We're going to be going back green on lap number 9. Still a very long race still to go. And it looks like we're going to be taking another trip around. Some cars not quite caught up yet. So the pace light's back on for now. That gives us more time to check out some pace schemes. Why not? There's AJ Rogers. His is actually pretty cool. I like that paint scheme. Blood clot awareness prevention. I like seeing this stuff, man. I don't know. There's something about certainly looking at these cars that is very unique. With all these foundations and awareness and stuff like that. It's really actually really cool. Alright, so we are about to go back green this time around. Hope you all can read the new overlay. Let me know if you actually have trouble reading the overlay. It's one I'm actually kind of working on myself here and there, putting a little bit of touches on the one we did have. So we are currently working on that. You got the different with the yellow flags and stuff like that now. So let me know if you work that like that. Also, a little information. Tomorrow night, we'll be broadcasting the Xfinity League of, my gosh, goodness, Over the Top Paints and Designs Xfinity Series. We'll be broadcasting them. Chase race starts tomorrow. And then Sunday, we got 2 broadcasts. One actually I forgot off the top of my head. And then we got the super late model for Nazareth later that night. But we broadcast Sunday at 4 p.m., tomorrow night at 8 p.m., and then Sunday night around 9:30 p.m. Here we go. Ready to go back green. Pace car pulls in. Green flag back out in the air once again. You see a lot of cars already protecting that yellow line. That is one way to actually get loose and cause a wreck. You got to be really careful riding that yellow strip. It's very slick, and the cars tend to slide out of control. Here we go. Let's see. Here comes a push from that 85. Peyton Johnson trying to push this 3 car on the 78. He is able to actually clear the 78 right now. Kenneth starting to work back on his side. Oh, we got a little blinking issue. You see the 85 car actually inside that 3 car. That is a net code thing. So that will balance itself out, I believe. But right now, Kenneth's going to jump up to the top of the board. Jump a little bit further back here. You see the 17 of AJ Rogers. Ooh, car got loose. Let's hop on board with AJ. Take a lap around Daytona in the middle of the draft. See how close these guys actually run near each other. Right on the back bumper of the 17, we got the 08. Right on the back bumper at the moment. Here comes a big run from AJ. Had to let off the gas just a tad. I don't want to get into him too hard. Right in the center of Daytona drafting, and you got a really good idea of what it looks like. There's the 18, by the way, RJ Justice that we've seen behind AJ Rogers. Back up towards the front. The 85 going to lead that lap. Peyton Johnson. On that outside row, we got a couple cars actually blinking. That is the 3 car of Dylan Thomas blinking at the moment. But you see the 85 clearing that bottom row. That's going to leave John Johnson up on the outside by himself. He does got a little bit of help with the 388 of Douglas Johnson. Then you got the 15 there as well, Jeffrey Clifton. You start to see why I said I like the outside better. It really does. Honestly, it may not seem like the fastest way around this track, but it is the best way to gain the momentum using that high line, especially using side draft. You can actually work around these guys really easily, as weird as that sounds. If you even side draft right, you can even do it with a couple cars. You kind of see what the 22 is doing. He's actually coming down on the quarter panel of that 78 car, utilizing that side draft, helping him try to slow the momentum down from that low line. That's all it's doing. It's not speeding the 22 up by any means when he's side drafting. It's just slowing the momentum down, putting the air on the back of that spoiler of the 78, trying to slow him down, and it allows John to get a good run. But you see now the 78, Kenneth moves up to the high line, does have a nose out in front of this 85, but here comes that low line. This right here where wrecks tend to happen. You see how tightly they are congested. One little brake check or anything like that, and this whole field is going to have like an accordion effect, and that's where you'll see the big ones happen. Got to be really careful. But leading this lap looks like Kenneth, and he will lead that lap. It is the 3rd lap led for the 78 car tonight. Keeping himself out front in position. That is a main key once again to win this race. A couple cars back here, just single file, just holding on to the draft. You see a little bit further back, Nate LaComey, he's just holding on to that draft. He did have a little bit of damage. He's just holding on to the back of it. Nothing to actually do right now. You can't win the race right now, so he's just trying to stay within contention for him to be able to get a run later on if he needs to. Plus, it gives him time if a wreck happens. He may be able to avoid it as the 85 actually comes up. Maybe makes contact with 22 of John Johnson. That is Peyton Johnson. A lot of Johnsons in here. What's this relation? We got Peyton Johnson, John Johnson, Douglas Johnson. Contact once again, a 74. Going to get pushed below the Yellow line. He's got to fall back. Now he'll come up onto the track. Let's see what actually happened here. I think somebody may actually came down. It's a 15 that was above him. Oh, the 24 came down a little bit on him. So he's going to fall back a little bit, actually lose a couple spots. See him way back here. Yeah, he's actually lost the draft now, showing 4 seconds behind the draft. Got to be within 4 tenths in order, 4 to 5 tenths, I believe it's 4, in order to actually get drafted in these cars. And without draft, you're just going to be a sit duck. And for there, you're just hoping a caution happens. Right now, Dick Greenaway back in 17th, kind of hoping a caution happens. He's 19 seconds behind this leader, 14 seconds behind the car in front of him. So he's kind of hoping for a caution here soon, or otherwise he'll be going to lap down here very quick. It does not take long in order for that to happen. Keep in mind, got a couple little bit interesting facts happening. We still may be a couple laps away from pit stops, but at the moment, this top 7 has 6 more laps in their fuel tank, or 6 less laps in their fuel tank than the guys from Rick Greenaway back. So some of these guys go a little bit further on field than the others. If we have green flag pit stops, that is going to be a key factor in this race. If we have green flag pit stops, I'm going to make a prediction. We're going to have trouble on the pit stop. I'm just going to go ahead and mention it. Because right now these guys, they're kind of aggressive. And to be honest, looks like John Johnson actually led that lap in the 22. He did. But they're being kind of aggressive right now. A little bit more aggressive than I'm sure some of them would like to be. Usually you have just single file for a long amount of time. These guys want to get up front and try to lead this race, and that's what happens. Round goes the big one. 3-car caution flag comes out, and the big one going to come out here once again at Daytona. One more look at this. Trying to see who that was up on that high side. It is the 15. That I see up there. That is Jeffrey Clifton. Oh, that was actually the 24. It came back down. And from there, it was just all chaos. Oh, man. And here's why Nate Lacombe was riding in the back. I think it was him. Yeah, it was him. There you go. You see, he just comes to a stop almost completely. That is why he does it. That is why you ride in the back for a long amount of time. So a big wreck happens here on lap number 18. We are now on lap 19. With Kenneth still up front, Peyton Johnson, John Johnson in 3rd, Trevor Halapuff in 4th, and RJ Justice, your current top 5. As we should be seeing pit stops, I believe. This time there's some smoke on the screen as well. See who comes down pit road. I'm guessing most of these guys will get pit road. There you go. Oh, somebody in Nate Lacombe may have got, I don't know if that's going to be a penalty or not. He was still on the surface, so we'll see. May have a little bit of a penalty there. John Johnson on the right side of your screen. The 88, your pole sitter, also over there. Race off pit road. 2-tire stop for the 78. A lot of 2-tire stops, a couple of 2-tire stops, a lot of 4-tire stops. If you're under caution, you might as well take 4, to be honest. It ain't going to hurt any way whatsoever to take 4. Take a quick break, guys. We'll be right back right after this. About to go back green flag here at Daytona as the pace car. About to drop off here in just one moment. So far, been a pretty good race. We've had 2 cautions so far. Had quite a few lead changes. So we're ready to go back green. As guys work through turn 3 and 4. Currently out front, it is Kenneth still in this race. Started in 4th place. Nate Lacombe right now has the fastest lap out of the group, although that really don't matter, Daytona. But 7 lead changes so far. Gabe Butler back up towards the front as well. He'll be starting on the outside row. It'll be interesting to see what he can do. He got his damage fixed as green flag back out in the air once again from Daytona. Actually, I don't know if he actually got his damage fixed or not. I can't really tell. It looks like he's still a little messed up on that 88 car. It is. I don't think that's going to work out too great for him. If we can see it, yeah, still a little bit of damage there. Definitely not going to be great. As you see, the 24 right now trying to push him. Really struggling to get that car up to speed. That outside line. See if anybody drops down and tries to leave him out or not. Or will he continue to have 24 help him? Right now that bottom line is slowly starting to get stacked up together. That is Brian Rogers, by the way, in that 12 car. You're starting to see work his way up. He started back in 13. 24 gets a little loopy there for just 1 second. He's actually shown in a 5th position now. Although it shows 4th, but he's currently 5th. Really starting to maneuver through traffic as you start to see that 88 slowly start to try to work his way back up. 24 looking to the high side now, possibly trying to make it go 3 wide, and this is going to get interesting. We are 3 wide. At 24, Trevor going to be left on the outside. No help at the moment. But he's going to be falling back here just ever so slightly. All they're going to have to pull in behind this 388 car as they go down the backstretch. We can still see a big wreck right here. There's still enough cars to cause a big wreck. And there you go. Yo, wait. And big trouble. 24 involved. It looks like, who else was involved? I seen, was it 51? 91. Yo, one maybe got some damage from it as well. Oh, hard hits. Somebody went rolling though. This is not going to be a fun ride. I just want to point that out, guys. We're going to go for a flipping ride. Oh, right to the wall. That was a bad looking wreck. Definitely going to hurt that car as he comes down pit road. He actually does a little rollover right here. There you go. Car actually still able to drive away, so he's going to go to pit road. I don't know if he's got a fast repair or not. It looks like he does, so he's going to definitely use the fast repair, so good for him, unable to use that. Right now, so far, 3 cautions for 26 laps. Well, not for 26 laps, on lap 26. Wondering how many fast repairs these guys actually have. I did not check. I didn't check in a commercial break to make sure. Go see some pit stops. 18, gonna bring it down pit road. Bunch of other cars coming down pit road as well. Couple cars staying out, including the 78, the 85, the 15, the 22, and the 69 staying out. Looks like the 3 as well staying out. Definitely take 4 tires, get the damage fixed if you got any. Race off pit road. Going to be won by Brian Rogers and then Gabe Butler. Oh, I'm sorry, Sean Wilder. Gabe Butler does come out second on pit road. So, third caution of the night comes out. Still got 54 laps to go. But do have 7 lead changes at the moment. The 78 car has been out front for now 14 laps. He has done a great job, able to stay out front. Once again, guys, make sure you check out the link in the description. Find out more about Racing for a Cause. I mentioned earlier during the pre-race that I expected cautions early. A lot of these guys have yet to actually race together. So I'm not surprised to, like I said, to actually see some of this happen. Just one of them things that definitely, it happens when you guys come in and you never raced together before. And that tends to be the way of it. Especially for new guys, Don't know how each other's going to react, how each other's driving style is. Pace light's still on the pace car, so we'll get ready to cut them off. And the pace car lights are off, so we'll double back up here. Got to go around the track one time. Pace car going to drop off, and we'll get ready for restart number. What is this, 3? Restart number 4. I apologize. Oh, restart number 3. At the moment, we still have 16 drivers still on the lead lap. At the moment, 2 drivers have retired from the race. Here we go. Pace car going to drop back down pit road as the green flag back out in the air once again. See what happens. The 85 almost dropped down early. He does not. He stays in line with the help of the 22, John Johnson, right behind him. 85 of Peyton Johnson out front now by a nose over the 78. Kenneth trying to get back around the bottom side. Here comes that 69 up through the field as well. It's Rick Greenaway. See what happens here. Does the 22 drop down or no? Does not appear like he can at the moment. Come up a little bit bottom. He did get some of that yellow strip. That's where you got to be careful. That's where it tends to get a lot loose on some of these guys. We've seen that, I think, twice tonight already. And it caused a big wreck once, that first wreck that we had. Ooh, almost contact between the 15 and 78. And the 15, Jeffrey Clifton, going to go to the top of the board. Started back in 18, being pushed now by that 78. And will he be able to lead this lap? It looks like it, and he will lead the lap here at Daytona. He's just got to do that for about 50 more times. Well, 48 more times. 69 starting to work his way up through the field. He jumped to the outside line. Once again, my personal opinion, I still think it's a little bit too early to be jumping up towards the front. I think right now right in the back is what I prefer until the race comes down to the end. Oh, almost contact between the 69 and 15. Peyton Johnson, he did fall back a little bit now, showing him in 5th place at the moment on the back bumper of that 69 car. Oh, there we go. There's one in the wall. 69. He's going to hold it up there. Let's see what happened. It's kind of weird. That was, I think there was actually any contact there. Oh, there was. Rubbed the bumper the wrong way. 85 got into the back of him. And now Rick falls all the way back to 13th position. Once again, some side drafting going on. See what they can do here. Will that outside line start to prevail back up on that high side? The 85 going to move up. The 24 going to move down. See which line prevails now with 3 cars in each line. See what happens as we jump back up towards front. We're kind of staying with this front pack right now, guys, because we're starting to see a lot of cars move around. Here we go, looking at 3 wide. And who's going to get left out? Looks like that 78 could get left out to dry. 24 almost making contact with the 15. 12, Brian Rogers going to slide up in front of the 78. Still 3 wide. getting a little bit sorted back out here once again. I mentioned earlier, I feel like these guys were still going a little too aggressive for this early on in the race, and we're still seeing the aggressiveness being put on by a lot of these guys. There's a couple guys that you're starting to see kind of jump out of line at a weird time, and that's where you kind of see like wrecks start to happen. That's not really what you want, honestly, for Daytona. You don't want erratic moves being made at Daytona. You just kind of want to ease into that position if you can. You also see a couple guys using a lot of the side draft, or not really steadily holding the line. That's where a lot of wrecks tend to happen. One guy's coming down a side draft, another guy not holding that great of a line will come up just a little bit, almost like that. Not throwing a 74 out by any means, but he came up a little bit in the side draft, and that's where the 85 could have came down to try to side draft as well, and it could have been bad. So that's one thing I'm kind of noticing it with, especially with the bottom line. The high side actually seems like they're doing a really good job on holding their lines, but once they hit the bottom line, that's where I feel like, you know, a couple guys kind of falling back. Now, we do got a separate little pack, though. Back here, you got these cars. Now, they're not extremely packed up, but this is Sean Wilder. He's back here in 12th. He's about 12 seconds back. You got these two guys, Dave Butler, RJ Justice. They're just kind of riding back behind the 3 car. Then you got where the actual main pack is, right in front of them. And this right here's where it can get bad. He'll come back up on the track. The 78 will. I lost him. Where'd he go? There he is. So see what happened here. Once again, this could have been a definition of side draft gone wrong. Yep, that's exactly what it was. Looked like the actual 78 may have came down a little too early. Did the 15 come up at all? Yeah, I think 78 just came down. Thought he might have been able to clear it. That's what I meant by way too aggressive, way too early. So you got to be a little careful about doing that. This right here may space these guys out. You see them getting single file now. That is one thing they need to do. I think that's a great way to go ahead and log off some laps. Like I mentioned, I like the idea of staying single file right now. You know, there's no reason to be kind of jumping out of line. So I figured, why not? And definitely the best way to not damage your car or anybody else's. So we'll stay single file now for a few moments. Let's jump back a little bit further. See back here, the 15 car was just minding his business. He's now back to 10th place. You got Kenneth back in 11th. You got these two guys starting to work their way up. Got the 24 jumping out of line. Trevor trying to make something happen. He is running in the 6th spot. Here comes John Johnson underneath him. And now the 74, Wesley Whitfield actually. With the 24 getting a lot of side draft. That's where you can actually use the side draft by yourself if you choose to. And we got the 3 car coming up pit road, and I think he was carrying a lot of speed. No way he did not get caught speeding. No way. Let's see what happened. He's coming up pit road by himself. Definitely caught speeding. He's definitely going to have a penalty. We'll see how long it's going to be. Dylan Thomas Honestly, he flat spotted the tires as well, or flattened the tires. Let's see if he just takes 4 or goes ahead and takes none. I would personally take none. Yeah, that's exactly what he did. He took no tires. It looks like we got a wreck happening right here. That is a 74 around the wall. Caution flag comes out. The 18 above as well. Oh, 22 got involved. Man. One more look at this. See what happened. Let's actually try to analyze it and see what happened. The 08 was on the inside of row. And the 08 looks like he got into it. It could have been net code. I didn't actually see no initial contact. And that's exactly what it was. There was a net code between the 08 and the 74. And the 74 now is done for the race. It looks like he has called it quits as well. Unfortunately, caution flag comes back out. Meanwhile, the 12 car that you see is your leader, Brian Rogers Jr. And pit stops underway. Let's see who wins this race out. That's the 01 I think I seen smoking. May not have been. Race off pit road. Going to be won by Gabe Butler. Wins the race off pit road with John Johnson. By the way, see Dylan out in front now at 15. And Thomas or Kenneth was showing second. That may change. We'll take another break, guys. We'll be right back right after this. Back here at Daytona once again, guys. We are just over 30 laps to go. Real fast look at sponsors for tonight's race. Race for a Cause benefits all these organizations. You'll see most of them on the front of the cars. Also, check out the link below. Pre-order the 2018 Racing for a Cause t-shirt. It's a really cool little shirt, to be honest. I actually really like them. So, really neat. Get ready to go back green flag here at Daytona International Speedway. And to say the least, we've had 4 cautions for 15 laps. Not horrible. 14 lead changes, however. But at the moment, we got a lot of guys actually out of this race. We're down to 14 drivers on the lead lap. Currently, Wesley Whitfield, Douglas Johnson right now behind the wall in at 388, AJ Rogers, and 35 out of this race. So we will see how it all shakes up here in just a moment. Like I mentioned before, I still think these guys need to show a little bit more patience. If I was to pick a favorite right now, I'm liking where that 12 car sits. I'm kind of liking where the 22 sits, to be completely honest. And the 69, unfortunately, I think he's actually got damage. He looked really fast. He's actually like he might have got the damage repaired, but he looked really fast when he was actually up there. So I would keep my eye on him as well. And I think the 01 has some damage. He does. So I would keep my eye on them cars that I mentioned. This 24 looks fast as well. So we'll have to wait and see. As pace car pulls in, green flag come back out. We are back to racing here once again at Daytona International Speedway. And already that outside line. Let's see if they can actually get a run here on the straightaway going into the corner. I don't think he's going to be able to clear this 3 car. He will not, as we got the 88 and the 3 out front. It's a weird combination. Been said before at Daytona. Well, it's been 8 and 3, but still. Here comes that 78 car. Kev Dale Osmond pushing the back end of this 3. Right now, got a couple more cars. It's a little bit high, about even now. We'll see if his highest line gets moving as they exit turn number 4. Do want to mention, do not think we're going to have to see green flag pit stops. It's going to be close though. This could become a field mileage race. Unless the caution wants to come out. See what happens here as they work out turn number 4 once again at the line. We'll see who leads this lap. It looks like that 3 car of Dylan Thomas able to lead this lap as well. So the outside actually looks a little bit faster, but with the momentum the low line carries around the shortest way around the racetrack really does prevail. We'll see. The 85 jumps up. Let's see what happens here. The outside line is tucked up a little bit better than this inside. Let's see if the 88 can actually clear this 3 car. Does not appear. Whoa, there we go. The 78 almost got into the right rear quarter panel of that 3 car as the 88 jumps up to the lead. Gabe Butler, who started up in the front row, going to take back that top spot. He is yet to lead the lap, and that 3 car blinking just a little bit. We got to be careful. But he will not lead this lap as John Johnson going to go around the outside and take over the top spot as he ducks in line on the bottom. Leaves the 12 of Brian Rogers outside now. We'll see if that 12 can get a run. A little bit of side drafting going on from that 88 car. Putler's been trying to get this lead back ever since he got loose in turn, what was it, turn 2 or turn 3 and 4, I believe. And no caution came out. He's back up towards front now. And we'll see if he's able to finally get that lap led. Like I said, did not lead the first lap of this race. John Johnson going to lead this lap as well as they come to the tri-oval. That 12 car still looking to be outside. There's also the 15 back there towards the back, Jeffrey Clifton. He's on the outside right now. We'll see. The 24 actually jumps up out of line. We should start to see a high line start to form up, and I lied because Jeffrey jumps back down to the inside. Take advantage of that 24 out with no draft. As we come to lap number 53 out of 80 here at Daytona. Racing for Cause League. As we go high above in the blimp. Once again, this race would not be able to happen if it wasn't for the guys like Chris Legal. Hope I pronounced that right once again. Troy Radford, AJ Hamill, Rick Greenaway, and the Racing for a Cause admin team for making tonight possible. So once again, also I know Douglas Johnson helped a lot as well. As we go back in. Down close to the track. Here comes that 12 car. Brian Rogers Jr. working that outside line. Down the backstretch at 85, really putting the bumper to that 12 car. Does look like Brian Rogers actually was able to clear the 22, but does not leave the 85. Peyton Johnson out dry, so he's going to try to possibly bring that outside line along with him, which is definitely a good thing to do, to have teammates to work with. So if he does bring the 85, I'm sure some of these guys will remember that. It was a little bit high at the line. Brian Rogers was the leader of that lap in that 12 car. So right now we got 4 on 4 to this top spot, and we got Rick Greenaway back in the 69, just looking on, keeping the draft, as well as Thomas Quattlebaum Jr. Hope I'm pronouncing his name right as well. Pull that 3 car, got a little loose. Well, at number 56 now, you see that 22 side drafting at 12. 12 side drafting at 22. Either way, at the line, it's going to be John Johnson leading that lap. So once again, 17 lead changes now so far on the night. Nothing so far changing as the outside line is still working to try to get around this 22 car. Once again, that is Peyton Johnson in that 85, that blue and black Chevrolet, pushing on the back of that 12 car. Three wide now, the 88 kind of gets left out. Here comes that 18 looking to the high side. And it looks like they're going to fall back in line. Looks like they got it all worked out. Riding on board with the 18. RJ Justice, you see that 69 car to the inside. That is Rick Greenaway, who's starting to work his way up. Now outside line, slowly starting to fall back. Here comes a move by the 18. He's jumping to the inside. You guys better start trying to get formed up, whether they want to be on the low side or not. As right now, a lot of scattering being done through the top half of this field. By trying to get where they want to be. The 15 blinked just a little bit. "15 jumps out. What a move. Jeffrey going out to the outside. Remember, he was pretty fast earlier. He got involved. The car came down on him early in this race. So far, the fastest lap of the race is still Nate Lacombe. Set on back on lap 17. He's right there. There's the 01 car. Fastest lap so far of the race as he just looks on this field in front of him. As the cars work through turn 1 and 2 down the backstretch. Looking at the 88 of Gabe Butler, still trying to get up there and lead a lap. He has not led a lap, even though starting on the pole. Has yet to lead a lap. Trying to do so, possibly here very soon. As he is right now pushing this 22 of John Johnson across the line. John's going to lead his 11th lap so far of the night. Outside line starting to form up once again. Let's see if that 69 can suck up to the back end. A little wide there. And the 85 did not like what he's seen, so he's going to drop down. Peyton Johnson. Now basically it's like a chess game. Now you've got to start really paying attention of who you're working with. You see the 15 dropping back. You really got to start paying attention of where you want to be to try to make a run here. Now if you're towards the back, now you want to start slowly trying to work your way up. And the 88's going to go around. That may not bring out a caution. Gabe Butler hard into the wall. I think he got the wall. Let me check. He actually may bring us down pit road. He will. He did get some of the wall, but it actually did not affect the car very much. He hit it pretty hard, but did not get any of the cars. So he's going to bring it down pit road. We'll see how that plays out for him. Looks like he's definitely took 2 tires. He's down in the way now. He's going to need a caution. Here comes the 24. Coming down pit road. Green flag stops underway. Thing is, the 24, nobody stopped with him, and it looks like he did not get caught speeding, so he should be okay. We'll have to wait and see, though. Oh, that 12 was really pushing that 3 car. Dylan Thomas last time by was the leader. 13 laps led for him. Will we have any more stoppers this time? I don't think all these guys are going to have to stop, though. Oh, this 88 car's on the low side. That's usually not good. That usually works out really bad for a lot of these guys. And you can see it kind of broke up this field just a little bit. 78 car coming on pit road. Oh, there we go. 69 to the back end. We knew something would happen on pit road. Oof. 69 just plowed out in the back of him. Greenaway, definitely not what he wanted to do. Oh, he tried to avoid it. Just could not. Luckily, I think for him, though, he actually had a fast repair, which is good. Probably not great for the 78. Does his back end get damaged? Let's see. Actually, he got a fast repair, too. So it worked out for both of them in a way. Definitely could have been a lot worse as we got another group coming in. Sean Wilder stays out. Nate Lacombe stays out. So green flag stops underway. You also see that 88, by the way. That 88 is one lap down at the moment. He'll be waiting for these two guys right here to pit. One put some pressure now on this 91. They're going to go around to 31 now. Put him 2 laps down. That's Dick Greenaway. Here comes the 69 next. He will be 1 lap down as well. My thing is these guys are going to have to pit, though, I believe. I haven't seen nobody go more than 23 laps, so they've been out there now for 19 laps, so we should be seeing them on pit road as well. Now, if a caution was to come out, it make things interesting. Gabe Butler, by the way, was able to get around to 69 as well. So far, Gabe's done a great job on holding on with this lead pack, because if caution was to come out, he will be your lucky dog. So the car that actually spun may actually be in the right spot. You got back here Brian Rogers, John Johnson, Thomas Quattlebaum, I believe is how you say his name. Then the 85 of Peyton Johnson. And the 22. We'll lose a couple spots here. That's not what you really want to do. Shift to 12. The 2 might pick up the 12. Looks like he's going to. What's the 18 going to do? I like the idea of having 3 cars instead of 2. So we'll see if Sean Wilder or Nate Lacombe comes down this time. They are coming to lap 21. Here comes the 91, and the 01 as well is going to come down. Guys going to have to get slowed up, but it looks like the 01. Ooh, I thought he actually wasn't able to get slowed up. Good job there. Good job. So we'll see how this all shakes up. To be honest, if everything shakes up, there's a possibility these guys could come out in front. Or these guys right here may not come out in front. We'll have to wait and see. They need to go now, and it looks like Nate Lacombe may take 2 tires, and he's down in the way. Will they be able to beat out this 08 and the 85? And it looks like they are off pit road. Can they get up to speed in time? It's going to be close. I think we're going to be about even with them. Still not quite up to speed yet. You see them here. They're pushing as hard as they can. It looks like these guys are going to be able to catch them. Now they're starting to get up to speed a little bit. They need about 20 more miles per hour. And they are going to get up to speed, but this second group is going to definitely catch them. And we may have another race on our hands here. Actually, these guys, top 2 guys, are going to be able to stay out front by 2 seconds. Now, these guys back here really ought to think if they want to keep fighting each other real long or not, they need to get single file as quick as they can to try to run down this first group. If they get single file, they can definitely run them down. If they stay double file like this, it may not work out great. Or they'll probably catch them, but a lot slower. Right now, we only got 7 cars actually within capable distance of winning this race. You're looking at the second group right now. Next car closest behind them is Jeffrey Clifton. He's way back here in 8th place. About 7 seconds behind. 6 seconds behind, I apologize. Give you guys an idea, you can kind of see the leaders right up here. And there's your group behind them. And last time by, definitely starting to catch them, this second group. Now, they will catch them. But like I said, it's going to be a little bit quicker if they was to get single file. They would definitely catch them a lot faster and possibly be able to slingshot around them. But if they stay double wide like this, they may not be able to slingshot around them like they want to. Well, the 85 is going to move up. I like the idea of moving up. That's Peyton Johnson. This 08 is going to be left on the bottom side right now. Oh, I take that back. Wow, what a move. That 08 got a huge run on the bottom. Thomas starting to slowly catch the back of this draft. Now, what's he going to do? Is he going to have to check up for these two so he don't get into them? Or will he try to be able to lock up with them and have 4 on the bottom side? I think he's actually going to be able to get them. Unless he jumps up right here. And that's exactly what he's going to do. So he's going to leave the 85 to the bottom, Peyton Johnson. And the 91 is going to go up and actually block the outside line. Stop that momentum coming. This is where things can get a little sketchy. With the speed these guys are carrying, the 85 of Peyton Johnson going to be caught in the middle. Here comes that 01. Hey, look on me on the bottom side. Almost making contact with that 85. John Johnson now looking to the inside of Peyton. 3 wide for second place. Definitely the bottom side is where you want to be. We got 4 cars working at compared to 3 now in the middle line. Outside lane now starting to pick up a little bit more momentum. There goes Nate LaCombe. He's going to go around. Caution flag will not come out. Contact between the 91 and the 01 as Nate hits pit road. And unfortunately, his night is going to be done. Just like that. See what happens. 91 just got the left rear quarter panel. Definitely not what you want to happen. Unfortunately, caution's going to come, or caution will not come out. So unfortunately for him, we narrow it down now. 6. Wow, he was definitely starting to make some ground up. Let's see what happens now up in his front 6 cars. That 12 car up on that high line. Brian Rogers right now, the 91 of Sean Wilder, who we haven't really spoken a lot about. Has led 9 laps itself tonight in that number 91 car. A lot of them being this time around after the pit stops. We got 4 cars on the bottom. Definitely want to be the momentum right now on the bottom side. Now there's also the 08 there as well. Thomas, he hasn't, oh, he has led 1 lap, I apologize. Three cars now, top and bottom. So which line will have the most momentum? This situation, when it's 3 on 3, I still like the top side a little bit more because you can utilize that side draft if you can do it right. Definitely utilize that to your advantage. At 85 going below that yellow line. That's something you cannot do. I'm pretty sure that is against the rules, so you cannot do that. Or you cannot advance your position. Meanwhile, John Johnson's falling back now in 6th place. I think he's just looking for a hole to try to shoot up in. We're waiting on something to happen, and right there, the 85 comes up and pushes the 91 up track just a little bit. So Peyton Johnson trying to get around Brian Rogers Jr. now. The 91 got a little bit of help from that 18. Here we go. Oh, what a save. All these guys trying to save it. This could be bad. Now we're side by side once again. 3 wide for the top spot. That 08, Thomas going to go to the lead. 5 laps still. We got to be careful. We do not want to caution now. Here comes that 91. Sean Wilder with a great save a moment ago. He's going to go back underneath the 08. He's going to take the top spot. And we got the 01 Nate LaCombe right here up against the wall. He's just going to get out of the way. John Johnson now underneath that 08, trying to make a move. Will he jump to the outside? What's the 18 going to do? RJ Justice. Sure, he wants to win as well. If a caution flag was to come out, it will be the end of the race. '18 thinking about jumping to the outside. Any one of these guys still have a chance to win this, whether you're in the back or not. Kind of calming down right now. It's about to get pretty crazy, I would imagine, to the next lap or two. The 91 going to jump to the outside. That opens the door for the 18. 3 wide for the lead. Which line's going to have it? This 91 gives up the top spot. He's going to give it to the 18 for now. Here comes that 08. Still 3 wide for the lead. It is 2 by 2. Got 2 cars helping the bottom, 1 car helping the bottom, 1 car helping the middle, 1 car helping the top. Which car is going